Good evening, good morning, because it's midnight. Well, today is the 20th of February, 2023. It's now 12:03 a.m. And my sister been on my mind real heavy today. I mean, really, really heavy today. And I was thinking about how popular she used to be. And see, I was the one that didn't have a lot of friends. But see, like everybody loved her. And she was the one that talked all the junk. She didn't bite her tongue or nothing. She still don't. And people just loved her for some reason. I just felt she was mean, but I loved her too. And I was just thinking today, come out. One of my other sisters was her guardian, and so when the my sister, lawyer sent my other sister the papers to fill out to pay for her funeral, she sent it to me. I'm just a caregiver. I didn't want no authority or nothing like that. But she put herself as the guardian, but she didn't do nothing for her. And so I did fill out the paper, but in my mind, the funeral is just gonna be the family, just the brothers, the sisters, nephews, the nieces, stuff like that. And so my sister told me that I couldn't do that, and I told her, yes, I can. Where's everybody at now that she's alive? You're going to send me all the paperwork, but then you're going to try to tell me how to fill it out. I filled it out just like I wanted to. And on the paper, I said just the family, and that's what I meant. And if they invite other people, I'm not going, because I'm the one that's been taking care of her for the last 7 years. You sent me the paperwork to fill out. So if other people going to be there, I'm not going to be there, because I'm not putting my life at risk. Because I went to my niece funeral way in Washington, D.C., and the gang stalkers were there attacking. The city workers, the preacher, people that I've known all my life was following me around, because they kept getting them phone calls, because you got so many people as a part of this gang stalking stuff. So I said, if people care for her, why are you going to wait till she's dead and go to the funeral? And I already told my children, when I die, don't have nobody at my funeral. I don't even want to, if I'm not in church, don't take me to church. Just help bury me. That's it. Have a few words over me. Cause I'm be living right. I will be living right. Once I can say that much. But there ain't no need of me having no fake preacher over me, speaking over my body that don't know me. Just take me to the grave and bury me. And that's I'm not taking her to a church either, because she don't go to church. We're gonna have the funeral at the funeral home, and then take her to our family plot, and that's it. That's the same thing I want for myself, because it don't make no sense when nobody calls her, nobody come see her. I'm talking about family either, brothers, sisters, nobody come see her, just me. And it was just on my mind real heavy. And then I just happened to see a video saying the funeral was a waste of time, a waste of something, was a waste. And this is a funeral home director saying this. He was saying the exact same thing. That's what made me do this video, because he was saying the same thing that I was saying. We pay all this money, thousands of dollars, to go down in the ground. And it shouldn't cost that much. And I feel like they take advantage of people, because of the casket. How much they pay to make them casket? Probably a little or nothing. But I did pay thousands of dollars for my son, and the headstone was what, $700, $700 or $800 for just for a marker. And I brought one for my mama and grandmama. It's just one marker. It was a one big marker with both their names on it. Because my mama died in 74. My grandmother died way before that. And they in an unmarked grave. And it's after I buried my son, it started bothering me that my mama is in an unmarked grave and she had 9 children. Out of 9 children, we could have got up enough money to get her a headstone or a marker with her name on it so she won't be in an unmarked grave. So I got a marker that was big enough to put my mama and my grandmama name on it, because both of them was buried side by side. And then, this how my family are. They put a penny to it, but they had to go check behind me. Like I don't have sense enough to get a marker and put it there. They didn't try to give me a penny on it, you know. And I'm really getting sick of my family. I really get sick of them. Because they don't try to be a help. They're always trying to belittle me. And I'm really tired of it. I don't have no money. No, I don't. But I got feelings. I got love in my heart. Enough love that I would sacrifice my life to help my sister. Even though sometimes I regret it because she gave me such a hard time. But I'm still doing it. I have thought about putting in a rest home. But then the people started dying in the rest home. I said, oh no, because them people ain't just dying. I don't believe it. Nobody can tell me that them old people just died in the rest home from that sickness when they don't go nowhere. How did they get it? The workers didn't them die. If they brought it in, why couldn't they didn't die? Why couldn't none of them went in the hospital? Because these people being murdered. You can't tell me that these people not being murdered. So I'm still taking care of her. And she's still mean, still being mean, still cussing, still wanting to holler at me. It's just something. But still, that's my sister. I love her. Even though sometimes she really makes me mad. She make me mad though. And then she'll start laughing after she done raised all that saying, and then she'll just look at me and start laughing. That what really make me mad. I be trying to talk to me all nice. I don't even talk to me. Lord have mercy. That's hard trying to take care of somebody, especially when they got their mind is bad, especially when somebody is doing this to them. This is being done to her. We are submerged in energy, and I could actually feel it. At the other house that we lived in, it had got so bad over there where I would touch stuff and I would get a sharp pain in this thumb right here, and it would go up the side all the way up, and then you could see where it was going because it had turned white and it got real wrinkled. That spot got real wrinkled, was different than the rest of my skin, and it will go all the way up to here. This is as far as I feel it go. And so now when I'm touching stuff, but the tip of my fingers are getting tingly. By everything I touch, even when I'm sitting on this furniture, I know that this energy is on this furniture. Even my panties, the toilet tissue, it got to be in our food. If it's coming up through the ground and through the wood on this floor, what's stopping it from going into the food? So it's all in us, So I don't know, I thought about contacting her lawyer, but he part of it, so he not gonna, he just gonna probably try to have me committed or something, because You know how they try to say that we paranoid get schizophrenia. Um, you know, we just living in some bad times now. Really, really bad times. And I looked at another video where this lady was saying something about they passing a law that if you do any type of disagreement with the president, we are considered traitors or terrorists or something, you know. But I've been heard that though, but you know, it's like something that's happening right now. This is what they're trying to do now. But I heard that's what's going on in China. But this is this is why they want to put our brains into that supercomputer so that they can see what we're thinking. And I also seen I saw a movie. What was that movie? In that movie that I saw, they had hijacked this dude's brain, and what he was thinking was actually playing on the computer. You could actually see what he was thinking, and that's how they found out he knew the guy that they were looking for, because it was in his mind, and everything that was in his mind was on the computer. This is where they're taking us to. And if we thinking about anything that they don't want us to think about, we will be punished. This is what they said. So you got people sitting around with their ignorant self looking at these texts. Because just looking at the text, you ain't even got to be doing nothing else. But if you're looking at the text, you allow these texts to come to your phone, you helping them. But these people ain't just they looking at it, but they gonna make some money. So they're attacking us with their cell phones and try to act like they not. But like I pray, everybody that's attacking us, I pray for the wrath of God to come out. I don't even care who it is. I really don't. And I said it one time before, and my daughter said, "What if it's your grandchildren?" I said, "Didn't it go for them too? If they don't love me enough, where they gonna attack me with their cell phone, knowing this stuff can give me a sickness, didn't that go for them too?" And I mean that. If you don't love me enough where you want to attack me with your cell phone, knowing this frequency can give people cancer, because I'm quite sure they let them know what this stuff can do to us. It could mess up our brain, mess up our cells in our body, cause our cells to leak, mess up our muscles, just mess us up, period. So I don't think no more of you than you think of me. And that's how I feel. Anybody, I don't care who it is. If you using your phone as a weapon against me, I hope the worst come to you. The worst when them angels start releasing them vials, whatever come on this earth, and you get it, I'm not lifting a tongue or a lip to pray for you. And I mean that because this is a lot of pain and suffering, and feel like my guts and stuff is going all the way up to my heart, where I have to press down on my stomach to press my organs back down. And if you even know about what's going on and you telling a lie, man, like you don't know, the same day, I feel like you still a part of it. You still a part of it. And people know what's going on, and they trying to claim that they don't. And maybe I'm wrong for the way I feel, but I can't help, because I see too many people hurting and suffering. Children, they doing this to children. They don't even care who in the house. They don't care if you a newborn baby and you in the house. When they send this stuff, it's for anybody and everybody that's in the house, whether you feel it or not. And so these people that want to turn their back on us because they don't feel it, it's still affecting them. When their memories start getting short, that's because this stuff is affecting their brain too. Just like it's affecting ours, it's affecting theirs. When they start having joint pains, that's because it's affecting them too. Cause these people, these elites don't care nothing about us. They don't care about humans, people, cause they not human. I keep saying these people are not human, and they're not. I was before I started this video, I was listening to a man that was a part of what he said he was a part of some kind of government agency, and he realized he was working alongside with people that's not human. And it's like the men in black. He said they're not human. They're like out of what you call hybrids. When I get off of here, I'm gonna finish looking at it. But when we acting like we don't care and that just a blind eye to what somebody else is going through, because see, there's no way. Like my sister used to tell me when she told me that she could, and I want to help her. I didn't just give a blind eye to her. I would go check on her. I would go to her house. She lived in one town, I lived in another. But I still went and checked on her because I knew something was going on with her. Even though she was mean as the devil, just mean, I still even brought her to my house when I lived in Lumberton, and she would pissed up my mattress and just doing stuff. But I still had to help her because I see that her mind won't right. And so I moved back up here because this is where her doctor was. I took all the money I had and moved everything I had back up here to help my sister. Because I'm not selfish. You got too many people that's selfish. You got too many families that's broke because they too mean and selfish and self-centered that they don't want to pull together. When you see a family that's doing well, that's because they pull together. They pull their resources together. You don't have one trying to outdo the other because they too mean and jealous and self-centered. And that's why the whole family be broke down. Just broke, nobody got nothing. But when you see a family doing well, that's because they pull together. They care about each other. When one fall down, they help them come up. But when you trying to always fighting against somebody and trying to take, but you don't give, ain't nobody gonna do nothing good. Everybody gonna be broken, busted, two-faced. And I did try to raise my children not to be that way, but they that way. Just like it's not like they not like me. They like my family. I believe in pulling together. If you see somebody trying to do something, then give them a push to help them and let them know that you there for them. You happy for them. But this family here, they so jealous hearted. Nobody wants to help one another. I've seen children that mama was pure drunks, but they love their mama, and you could tell that how much they love their mama, even though their mama was out in the street and drunks and doing all kind of stuff, but they still love their mama, and you could tell that you could actually see it that they love their mama. How they at home alone, I don't know, but I know what I see when they're out and about. But they so much stuff. I mean, it just don't make no sense. So much killing going on. Um, Somebody was saying something about some was it train wrecks? Train wrecks, it's like 4 different train wrecks or something like that. People being murdered. I saw with like sports players just falling. They just falling by because they sitting up believing non-humans, running going to get something, and not using common sense. You ain't got to be a genius to have common sense. Bill Gates is smart, but he ain't got no common sense. He ain't got a lick of common sense because he ought to know he can't beat God. He gonna die and leave all that money to somebody else to spend it up and probably waste it. Oprah Winfrey, she done turn her back on God and think you can get to God all kind of ways. But the Bible said there's only one way, and that's through the Son. Only one way. You got Beyonce and Jay-Z, demon possessed, but they want Sasha, whatever her name. You know, you got these people with all this money, but they ain't got no sense. None. Because anybody that'll serve Satan, there's something wrong with you. Seriously, wrong with you. Because he is falling and he can't get up. So this was just on my mind. I said I was going to make a video on it. Because, I mean, it was on me heavy today. That how popular my sister was. And she had all these friends. And nobody comes. And when I first got her, when I first moved up here, people telling me that her friends wanting the phone number, that like you know, everybody's talking about how they asking about the phone number and all this type of stuff. So but they didn't call. One time, each one of her friends called one time. One time. Like they were so worried about it and stuff. One time out of 7 years that they called her. Even if it break your heart to see her this way, but it'll make her happy to see you. Maybe she wouldn't be so mean to me if somebody other than me would come see her. Nobody. But the way things are now, I don't know if I want anybody to come visit her now or not, because they probably use their cell phone on her. But this was back when I first got her. Before I knew anything about gang stalking. Before it got popular. It's popular now. We popular. I ain't never been popular. But I am popular now. A whole neighborhood of popularity. Everywhere I go to, here they come. Like roaches and maggots and rats. All the rodents, here they come. There's probably something else I wanted to talk about, but I probably can't think of it. But they the young people, now they sacrificing the children. Oh, and being Crump. Ben Crump is full of crap. Full of crap. Every time somebody get killed by the officials. Now, I called him back in 2008 when my son was murdered. And they lied on my son. The chief of police actually went to court and act out what my son did like he was there. You had the DA, the head of the CIA, the judge, and the sheriff, chief of police. All these people lied on my son. I know what God told me. He see the cover up. He called each one of their name. He called Danny Bradshaw name. He called, I'm trying to think that he called Judge Richardson name. I don't know if he called Judge Richardson name, but he did call Johnny Weaver name. He called Johnson Brick name. And that I cannot remember that there's a woman. I cannot remember her name for nothing, but I'm quite sure I got the paperwork with her name on it, because I kept every newspaper article that came out and everything. I even had the NAACP, and I had what's that? Sharpton, Reverend Sharpton. I called Reverend Sharpton in New York, and they told me to contact the people in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's what I did. Honey, that was a waste of time calling the NAACP and calling Reverend Sharpton people. Because these people full of it. They ain't hitting on 2 cents. And every time I see Ben Crump with the family, they all have on them colors that, what's his name, Fred Pearson say. Anytime these people have on these colors, that's the Phoenicians talking without talking, or speaking without speaking. And they always have on those colors. Every single time they have on the red and black, which is sacrifice, or they have on white and black, or white and black, something with check, like a check, or gold. He had on not the last time, but the time before that, I see him with the gold tie. That represent Ra, the sun god, and the man standing beside him on a purple tie, which is the Phoenician color. They all had on the colors that he say is a sign of them talking without speaking. Every single time they have on those colors, except for the day. Now I saw him, the guy that was about the people in the prison system in Texas. Now I didn't see nobody with no colors on. First time that I seen him with the family and they didn't have no colors on. But he's from Lumberton. That's where I was living before I moved up this way. And his uncle gave me his phone number and address, and I contacted his office, and someone, but that person might not even be from his business. He said he was his detective and that they couldn't help him. It could have been somebody else that just know that watch, because they watch everything we do. Because there's another lawyer that I contacted in, was it Raleigh? This was a lawyer in North Carolina. And when they contacted me back, they said they couldn't help him because they were representing somebody from my hometown. He didn't say who, but who else is you representing? And it was probably some of them. Just like the man that contacted me when I quit the job because my boss was sexually harassing me. And then he gonna cut my hours down for several hours for the whole week. So I gave him his job, and so somebody called me talking about they were from the sexual harassment. But I ain't made no complaints. That's what I was saying. I said, well, I ain't even made no complaint. I ain't said nothing about nothing. And then he gonna try to talk junk to me because I started telling him what happened. And then this person gonna get mad and talk junk to me about what happened, But I hadn't even said nothing or contact nobody or anything. Because I won't plan on going back no way. The job didn't mean that much to me. I won't get ready to give him none, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter to me. I won't going back into that job. I won't gonna be harassed no more. When you get mad at me because I won't go off with you, and you cut my hours down to 7 hours for a whole week, and when you don't pay me nothing in the first place, I went to the manager and told him, tell him he don't have to worry about me coming back. And he the one sent for me to come back, and I told her to tell him I'm not going back. I don't have to. And I didn't. I went to get me something to eat up there with the only grocery store we had. Other than that. And then his wife was mad with me because she thought I wanted her. Honey, I don't want your husband. Mm-mm. I didn't even like him. Wasn't even attracted to him. And she wanted to get married with somebody. You ought to be glad somebody took him. Some other girl took him, but it won't me. He brought a sports car. I said, well, dog, if I know he would, people gonna buy a sports car, expensive sports car, I might have would have went on out with it. He brought that girl a nice sports car. But I didn't want it. He didn't appeal to me none whatsoever. Not even. Because he didn't respect women for one thing. But she was mad with me. She really thought I was messing with her husband. And she actually didn't speak to me no more. She was going with this man at another grocery store. And me and my sister walk up there together. She'll speak to my sister and won't say nothing to me. And I won't say nothing to her. That's you acting crazy. Because you didn't have to worry about me wanting your husband. You know, and I've been too nice. Because people have done so many things to me, and I just took it. You know, I wouldn't say nothing. But I'm at the place now. I'm tired, and I'm fed up with people. I really am fed up with people. I'm sick of people, tell you the truth. And I'm getting tired of people messing with me and think I don't see what they're doing. Well, I reckon I don't talk enough. I just wanted to make, because it don't make sense. They always want to go sit up at a funeral. The person ain't there. That's just a body. They gone wherever they gone, either in heaven or hell, wherever. And everybody feel like they just got to go. I don't go to funerals. I quit going to funerals. Unless it is a immediate family. And it got to be immediately. I used to just stay back at the house and, and cook. So when the family come back home, they got food cooked. I done fried chicken. We'll fry that chicken. I be done cooked up a big old meal, and if anybody come, somebody at the house to greet them and stuff. That's what I prefer to do that than to go to the funeral, because my nerves will be shot. These people hooping and hollering and screaming. I can't take it. I just can't take it. Lord knows I can't take it. So just leave me right behind. Let me cook. I'll be running to no funerals. I remember at my son's funeral, one of my cousins got the holler. They curled around on out. They curled right on out of there. She the only one. I don't know what happened to me. People were coming up to me, people that I know, and I didn't know them. It's like, something happened to my brain. And I would just be looking at them, trying to figure out who they are. And I'll be looking at them for a little while before it come back to me who they was. Even my pastor. And this girl that was at, we spent a lot of time together. I didn't know who she was until after a while it came to me who she was. I don't know what happened to me. It's like when I left out that church, something happened that I didn't know people that I knew. And my uncle was with me. I about to break his arm when we got up to walk up to the casket. He stood by me though. My pastor was Indian, and his wife told me that he always wanted his church. He had either he saw his church full of black people because that's what he wanted. He wanted his church to be mixed, and there's one time his church was full of black people because it was full of black people. People loved my son. They didn't even know I was his mama. There was some girls say they didn't know that I was his mama. My son, Lord have mercy. He was so funny. And people loved him now because that church was full of black folks. That song they sung, Lord, it was so sad. Golly, I want them to sing something more uplifting. They sung that little slow song, and it was just so sad. Golly. But I was thankful. I was thankful. Now you talking about could preach. My pastor could preach, boy. That man know he could preach. Mm-mm-mm. My uncle kept saying he wanted to go back to that church. Cause he preach, cause he's a prophet, and he could feel the anger. He actually left the pulpit and walked over there where all my son's friends was. He could feel the anger. That man preached too. He would let them know that God handled him. And that boy, he's the one that actually shot my son. Cause the one that hit my son for no reason, he dead. The cousin is dead. The one that called my son to the car is dead. Everybody dead that was involved with my son killing is dead except for the one that shot him. And he done been locked up in Philadelphia for trafficking guns and drugs. Somebody shot him. They said they started to kill him, but they realized he had a child. I said, well, my son had a child too. Actually, the child was with him. And they talking about it was a drug. That's what the chief of police said was a drug deal gone bad and all that, putting drugs in it. It didn't have nothing to do with drugs. It really didn't have nothing to do with my son. It was two men fighting over a wife. And my son was single, didn't have no wife, didn't have nothing to do with him. That's just a lie that Danny Bradshaw said. And you talking about the devil. Now he's a devil, a pure natural born devil that's going to burn in hell. I don't even know if he can repent. Because he's so evil. I don't even know if he can repent. There's one man, I don't even know if God will allow him to repent. Because there's been a lot of death dealing with that man. That he covered up. And a lie. I won't be surprised if he's the one that's got this stuff coming in here attacking my body at nighttime. Because I do believe he the one blackballed my name. I do believe. He was a terror in my hometown. Had people scared. You know, he should have been out of that town. Had them boys stealing out of people's house, breaking in people's houses, and stealing, and giving them drugs for the stolen goods. I had a few people tell me that. I had a guy to tell me he sat and watched it, cause he saw the dude coming out of somebody's house with the gun. The dude tried to sell him the gun, and he wouldn't buy it. And he saw him going to the police station. He watched it. And I believe that his brother, I believe the police, the chief of police is the one that killed his brother. I do believe it. Because he told his daddy, if anything happened to him, that's who did it. And that man was terrified. When his son got killed, he left town. And he was on TV, and he said it right on TV. If anything happened, Timmy said, if anything happened to him, that's who did it. And I believed it. I believe it to this day. And it's been many, many years ago, back in the 80s. I still believe that's who murdered him. Him and that man, other dude. What time is it? 12:44. My nose just stops. I don't know. Every single night, my nose just stops up. Oh, and it's bad now when you got the law. The law is killing people because those people that I saw in that video today, so far in Texas, 3 people had died. Last year there was 20 something. The year before that was 20 something. In the jailhouse where they're being beat to death, sick, and they're not giving them the proper medicine. One girl had diabetes, and they didn't give her medicine, and she died. You know, if you're gonna be a guard, if you're gonna do anything, and if you don't want to do the work, don't just go there and do it just to get a paycheck. Just like in nursing homes, I haven't worked in a rest home, but I did NA1, NA2, and home health, and we had to do our clinicals in the rest homes. And I'm telling you, it was pitiful. With those people in that rest home full of sores. One lady that I took care of, her teeth looked like, you ever see them rocks that's in a fishing bowl? But that's how her teeth looked. And I started taking care of her. And this nurse came in and was standing there looking at me. So I looked back at her. I'm trying to figure out what is she looking at. And she talking about she just came to tell me how good a job I was doing, because that woman's mouth used to stink so bad because they weren't properly taking care of them. There was one man, we did this one man, Lord have mercy, and we were washing him, and I thought I was washing the black off of him because the rag was turning dirt, with black. And then after a while, the dirt just started rolling off of him, and I started cussing. Back in them days, I would cuss. I said, this don't make no damn sense. I said, all this dirt on this man. I was so mad. This one lady, her hair was so nappy, it looked like she had dreadlocks, but they had plaited her hair and didn't ever take it loose. It was just dirty and knotted up. And we took our time, me and this girl, we took our time and took it loose and combed it and plaited it back. And we would give them people good baths. We weren't getting paid. We were just students. Boy, when I got ready to shave that man, Cause we had on washing. My brother, he said, was feeling some kind of way. He get these two women washing him up. Cause we washed everything. But when I got that shaver and I got ready to shave his eye, I did like that. And I grabbed him by the face. I said, I ain't gonna cut you. I said, I ain't gonna cut you. So when I finished shaving him and washing him stuff, he grabbed me by the hand and pat my hand. And the dude that was working with him called his name and he started talking. I said, oh Lord, this man could talk. I didn't think he could talk. Now he was happy that we watched him. We watched him good too. And them people they were just we just had to take good care of them. So them people that were working in them places, they just did not take proper care of those people. And I just couldn't. I would get sick. I would get so sick and my bowel was just running off. Cause they didn't take care of them people in that rest home. I know one lady, boy, she swung to hit me. She was a black lady too. And she didn't like for you to wash under her arms. But I grabbed her arm and I grabbed her arm up and did like that. Boy, she said, I'm going to knock you to HL. See what she going to do to me. It was funny though. But I told her, you got to watch. That's how my sister is. She don't be want you to wash on her arms and they be smelling. I tell her, I said, look, you got to get under your arm wash because they smell sour. She don't be want to wash. And I tell her, you got to wash, girl. Can't let you sit up in here. I said, you want maggots on you? You want me to let maggots crawl on you? Oh, boy. Sometimes I just have to tell her about herself. That's when she'll listen. When she don't make me mad, I start telling her about herself. And she'll listen. She'll start trying to get so, oh, baby. Now, don't baby me. You don't cut up so bad. Get the laughing and stuff. When she don't cut or slam up. And be just screaming for nothing. I would touch her hand. I was getting ready to turn her, but I hadn't did nothing but grab her by the hand because I was trying to get her in a way where I could just push up her lower body and her upper body at the same time because she be trying not to turn over. And I grabbed her hand and she just hollering and screaming. Girl, if you don't hush your mouth, hollering like that, this don't hurt you. And I had put a pillow up under the other pillars and she just hollering and screaming. Girl, Lord, you better shut up. Hollering like that. I don't know why she just want to holler and scream like that. But it just do something to my nerves. I got bad nerves. And her doing that, because I know I'm not hurting her. I reckon I done talked enough. Look at all that energy back there. So this don't make no sense, but I got to contact somebody. I'm just kind of scared if they come in here and rewire the house and stuff. What else they gonna do? They rewire the house and add cameras and do all kind of stuff too. But we can't keep living here like this. Even the cable man called and said something that it's too dangerous to be living in this house with the amp high like that. And I'm quite sure they knew it before we moved in here. But they don't care. They just want the money. All right, then. I keep saying, let me go. Y'all have a blessed day today.